welcome to episode 5 of Drowning Horses. The premise of Drowning Horses is that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So, school leaders and policymakers unintentionally do harm by forcing certain policies, practices, and procedures on horses, which in these scenarios are students and sometimes staff. The question in this episode is, why do we care what students wear to school? When I first started teaching, one thing we used to determine whether or not families had access to resources was how kids were groomed or how they were dressed. For a child that is consistently unbathed or is wearing visibly soiled clothing, a staff member might give a heads up to the school counselor and have them keep an eye on the situation. For teenagers, we look for drastic changes in how that young person presented themselves. Maybe they began to hide behind hoods or oversized clothing, beyond the social trends of the day, of course. If there were major changes, we use it to probe the child about their well being. When the issue of bullying came to the forefront, folks wanted to make sure school staff was held responsible for fixing it. We knew that economically poor children were teased about how they were dressed. Heck, it happened to us. Some decided that mandating school uniforms was the answer. This is when the drowning of horses begins. Mandating school uniforms is a huge red herring because it violates the First Amendment rights of freedom of expression. There are no state laws or federal laws that support enforcement of school uniform codes outside of the fact that the clothing materially or substantially interferes with the school's operation. Wearing blue jeans or hats just doesn't rise to that level of disruption. So, school officials had to kind of fudge the truth and manipulate parents into signing agreements to have their children wear uniforms, hence, drowning horses. And if teachers fail to enforce uniform policies, they get wet too.